Hi everyone, my name is Mor, and I'm a lucky guy. I'm a lucky guy because I had the opportunity to meet Billy, and his team during the program. They have rare combination between intellectual and emotional intelligence. And they're addressing a huge problem in our market that affects all of us as a society. And you know what? I met tons of people during my career, and I can definitely say that they are the right people that I would rely on with my retirement. So please, welcome Billy and Arbor.
Meet Jane. She's 54 years old, and with life expectancy where it is, she's going to live until at least 81. She makes $65,000 a year. She saves what she can. But unfortunately for Jane, with the path that she's on for retirement, she's going to run out of money by 75. She'll be unable to pay for her home, unable to pay for her medical expenses. It's not just a bad situation, it's catastrophic. And meet Kirk. Kirk's 45, he's married, has 2 children and a mortgage. To the outside world, he looks like an adult, but he spends like a millennial. He buys coffee 6 days a week, and he has no idea how much it's costing his retirement. And these are my parents. They've worked extremely hard, and as it becomes harder for them to work, I want them to have the best retirement they can. They're 2 of 76 million baby boomers struggling with the questions of retirement, like how to make their money last, how to prepare for medical expenses, what to do about an empty nest, and like all of us, how to minimize our taxes. Unfortunately for them, it's the most complicated problem in finance. Even Nobel laureates agree. And few of us have someone to trust in taking on its challenges. Some of us in this room might, who can afford it, but millions of Americans are getting advice from the worst sources because they can't find a good one, can't afford a good one, or they've already been lassoed by one of these. Goldline, for example, has $500 million in annual sales. They market gold as a safe haven, even while they charge a 40% markup on both the buying and the selling of the gold. They're fleecing consumers. Our company is Harbor, and we're bringing high-quality retirement planning to everyday Americans. Fortunately for my parents, they've had me. I studied at Harvard and Oxford. I worked deep in finance, lending to financial companies while at UBS, investing in them while working in private equity at Advent. I was lucky to meet Nick while at Advent, where it was impossible not to notice the depth and the creativity of his thinking. He leads our product vision, and Colin brings it to life. Colin's an MIT-educated full-stack engineer with experience in payments and insurance. He prides himself on delighting consumers like Jane. And when Jane first came to us, she didn't know exactly what she was doing, but she knew she wanted to take control. And so she walked herself through a process of financial discovery, establishing intuitive metrics for her overall readiness, her retirement income, and her retirement stability. She built up a plan piece by piece. We provided the raw material, and she took the initiative. And as she weighed the levers of her lifestyle and her use of financial products, she could come up with a plan that was right for her. In Jane's case, a few adjustments to her lifestyle, when she retires, how she budgets, and a few actionable recommendations from Harbor, maybe moving to a lower cost state, maybe using a deferred annuity to hedge her longevity, she can get back on track for retirement. And if she puts more into the product, she's only going to get more out of it. We know about her assets and her income, yes, but she connects her accounts, she tells us her goals, she tests scenarios, and she asks us questions. We know more about her financial situation than anyone, and as a result, we can provide her with comprehensive advice. And we're filling the gap for comprehensive advice for 25% of US households, 30 million of them in the wealth range of $100,000 to $1 million in liquid net worth. We're going to raise their level of service, and we're going to become a trusted relationship for them. And they haven't had a trusted relationship because there hasn't been a company like Harbor before. We're holistic, we're free, we're interactive, and we're impartial. We put the power of financial services directly in people's hands. We're not just different than the existing players, we're additive to them. We get consumers more engaged across the spectrum of financial services, from full-service advisory to insurance to tax planning. And And our business model is to make referrals to generate leads to the best of the best in every vertical and always in the best interest of the consumer. And the value of these referrals, these leads, is in the hundreds, in some cases the thousands of dollars. So even Kirk, normally too busy drinking coffee, is finding Harbor. He came to us through one of our successful Facebook marketing campaigns to figure out what that cup of coffee was really costing him. In his case, it was 3 years. And when Kirk learned this, he did like Jane. He went to our website, went to our planner, entered his information, and got actionable recommendations from Harbor for how to improve. And Kirk took our advice, and he opened his first non-401k brokerage account with Charles Schwab. We've been amazed to see how hungry people are for advice. We're turning low-intent clicks into high-intent accounts, creating motivated users interested in self-improvement. With 5 content calculators currently driving people to the site and onto the planner, and more in the pipeline, we'll continue bringing people to the site at an enviable cost per click of 30 cents. And from those visitors, 22% go on to use our planner, 10% go on to register for an account, and at our 5% conversion of registered accounts into referral revenue, that's a cost of acquisition of $272. Our lifetime value, it's multiples of that, over $1,200. And we're only going to get better. We aggregate data, we're integrating and adapting the top third-party vendors, and we behaviorally optimize everything we do. We believe good advice empowers you to make your own decisions, and with Harbor, you will. So go to our website, figure out what a cup of coffee is really costing you, estimate your retirement age, and use the planner to come up with some actionable recommendations for how to improve. And if you're an angel investor, we particularly want to be a part of your retirement plan, so please find us after the presentation.